ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय। ॐ नमो नारायणाय।
श्रीमान् वेङ्कटनाथार्यः कवितार्किककेसरी वेदान्ताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि।
रामानुजदया पात्रम् ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणम् श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यम् वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्
சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
வெங்கடநாதார்ய கவிதார்கிக வேதாந்தாச்சாரியவர்யோ மே சந்நிதத்தாயாம் சதா ராமானுஜதயா ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்தேசிகம். சீரொன்று தோப்பல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழி ஓரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தண்டனியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேர கோமளவும்.
So now we go to the Pancaratra Rakshas, next paragraph. Yajnavalkyaha cha. So we have been discussing so far Daksha Smriti. Why Daksha Smriti was discussed by Vedanta Deshika, that is the only one crux here, namely, we want Deshika, Swami Deshika wants to establish the supremacy of the Pancharatra with all the basic smritis, Yajnavalkya and so on. So, whether a Pancharatra tradition should be scrupulously followed by any smriti for that matter, be it any smriti. It should follow Pancharatra. Otherwise, it is not Pancharatra smriti. That's what he wants to aver. That is confirm, stress. Therefore, he takes different books. For example, he took a lot of time for Daksha Smriti and he discussed why there are 8 timings in Daksha Smriti, whether they correspond to the 5 timings of all other books in the Pancharatra tradition, and so on. Now, again, of course, the basic principle is same as he says, as Vedanta Deshika presses the point that we have to follow the general principles fundamental to all the books belonging to Pancharatra tradition. That's all. So again, so we understand what is said by Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya cha. Yajnavalkya cha meaning and. That means he also said the same. That's the meaning. Cha means and. Simply and. But Yajnavalkya cha meaning along with Daksha Smriti, Yajnavalkya Smriti is also echoing the same principle. That's all. Vrittihinam manah kritva kshetrajnam brahmani nyaset. So, what should we do? Say, for example, priest. We are only concentrating on the priest. We are pinpointing the priest only. It doesn't mean we are all not priests. All others among us are not priests. Therefore, we need not worry about Pancaratra tradition because we are not worshipping, we are not doing Tiruvaradhanam in the temple, only at home. All of us are not priests at the temple. Then why should we follow this Pancaratra? My family, as my grandmother already said, that we belong to Pancaratra tradition. That doesn't mean that we cannot adopt Aikanasa tradition and so on, but our family tradition is Pancharatra tradition. So we must follow those books which are similar in principles with the Pancharatra tradition, and we should not follow others. If there are some yeah.
Pancaratra temples who are all following Pancaratra temples functions and the utsavams, like Krishna Jayanti, we follow that. So traditionally, family, those who are family following the Pancaratra tradition in the temple, like Krishna Jayanti thing, we follow in the house also same thing. It is like that, no?
No. So suppose we don't belong to the priest family of the Pancharatra temple, then how can we do it?
No, not that. That's what I am telling. We follow the Pancaratra tradition not as a priest, but in the house also. Now, normally in the Panchanga we say Pancharatana Krishna Jayanti, Pancharatana Narasimha Jayanti.
Right.
So when we follow that, so that temple follows it, so we follow that.
No, I mean again, see your native place, for example, your ancestors' native place should have a temple with the Pancharatra, then only you follow Pancharatra tradition. And if there is no temple in your town now, suppose where you are living now, or where you lived earlier also, your ancestors lived earlier. So, for example, of course, my grandfather had a transfer. Of course, within small districts, South Arcot only, no other district. Yeah, if you live in Tirumala, you should follow Ekanasa. No, that's what I want to say. That's what I want to say. Irrespective of the place that you live today, what your ancestors live, where your ancestors lived, that matters most.
Swami, and I will tell you like, no, I will tell you like, but no, the Sri Madam is following Pancharatana tradition. So whatever they say, we follow it. So it may not be the native place, it may not be the native place. But whatever the Acharyas, Madam, what they follow, is the Pancharatana tradition, we have to follow the same thing.
Right.
Whether they can, whether they can.
There is a knot there. KNOT. Now, see, as you say, very good. That is also one way of following. My Ahobelamatam, Sannidhi we say. We are all Sannidhi Shishyas. So when we say we are all Sannidhi Shishyas, that means, as you said, Sri Matam, in other words. Then I understand that just because Sri Matam follows Pancharatra tradition, our family also follows Pancharatra tradition since we are disciples. Okay. The problem here is about Swayamacharyas. The problem comes to Swayamacharyas. The Swayamacharyas had their leaders, rather great people, that is, those who can give Samashanam and Bharanyasam, where in those days many people were eligible. Today, as one, say for example, I belong to a Swayamacharya family, then I don't have an elder, proper elder, qualified elder to give me Samashanam and Paranyas. So in that case, I shift myself to some other matam, either Srimatam, Andaman, Srirangam, Periyandaman, and so on. So we drift from one matam to one matam. Then how about see whether all Sri Vaishnava matas follow Pancharatra? If not, what? Then what about Vadagalai, Tengalai divisions? who follows Vaikhanasa? So we all go on asking these questions. Then we don't know where our ancestry followed. So that is the problem that we have. So here we have Lakshmi Vishishtaadvaita, right? Vaikhanasians are said to have Lakshmi Vishishtaadvaita. Okay, something different. Okay, Lakshmi Vishishtaadvaita. Lakshmi Vishishta Advaita. Okay. So again, please note that Vadagalai tradition in temples have got both Pancharatra and Vaikhanasa. And Tengalai, they both have Pancharatra and Vaikhanasa. I hope I am right. I am subject to correction. So I think it is not it's Tengalai's prerogative to have only Vaikhanasa tradition. But definitely I know Vaikhanasa Vadagalai tradition is. Yes. Pancharatra. Okay. So that's why, because Ramanujacharya followed Pancharatra, Swami Deshika also followed him. That's all.
No, Swami, there is one saying that I don't know that Tirupati was originally Tirumalai was Pancharatra.
Pancharatra.
Later Ramanuja changed it to Vaikhanasa like that.
Oh. So now what is the duty of Yamuna? Yamuna has written.
Govindaraja is again Pancharatra.
Right.
The downhill it is Pancharatra.
Okay.
Tayar Pancharatra.
Oh.
Tirumala only Vaikhanasa.
Oh. So as he says, Yamunacharya also followed Pancharatra tradition in his Agama Pramana. That's right. Now, what is the duty of a general as a priest? Tengalai even have Vaikhanasa, right? That's why I said. Both Vadagalai and Tengalai. That means we are not able to pinpoint without knowledge that of our ancestry, of our tradition, hoary family tradition. That is long back, whatever we followed. Only we know from our elders, then we can follow that. Now, of course, there is no much difference also, for example. So, Vaika must come in a particular Gotra or stage, Vaikhanasa. It's called Vikhanasa. Okay. So, now what the priest must think of himself is Vrittihinam Manakritva. He must feel that he has no other job. Vrittihinam means jobless. So, jobless meaning so he has no other job except to think of Lord. So manakritva meaning deciding, making up one's mind that no other action is necessary, no other action is demanded, required as a duty. So vrittihinam, that means all the 24 hours I am free, I have no what you call injunction, rather condition to control me. And therefore, what should I do? Brahmani Nyasir. I must concentrate my mind on the Lord. So how do you understand? Then Kshetrajnam. So Kshetra is a body which we have as an individual soul. Kshetra is a body, namely the individual soul is the body to the Lord, that is inner soul. So jnata or jnanam, knowledge of what we call the individual, call it our individual soul. The individual soul as the base for the receptacle for, container for the Supreme Soul. So we must find, so Kshetram also means in Sanskrit field, where grains are produced. Now this is our field, this is his field, Lord's field. Individual soul is the Lord's field. He can play in the field. So it's a play field. So Kshetrajnam, that means we must know ourselves, we must know him, then we put our heart and soul to him. Brahmani Nisi. So Vrittihinam, the word Vrittihinam is explained in the next sentence. So Vrittihinam meaning, joblessness meaning, Bhashya Vrittirahitam ityarthaha. Just now I told you. So I don't have any other external job. What is that mean? What does it mean? Internal job is to think of the Lord. Internalization of the Supreme Soul in the individual soul is our duty. That's all. Internalization. So making us feel, making the individual soul feel that Supreme Soul is the summum bonum of our soul. That's all. In entirety, that is all in all for the individual soul. Nothing else. So that means there is no job elsewhere, bhashya, outside, vritti rahitam, without any job outside. So we have no other job outside.
So
Ityartha.
அவளதான் அவர் கிருஷ்ணர் கீதையில ஞானிங்கிறார் இல்லையா?
Right. அது ஸ்தித பிரஜான்னு சொல்றார். இங்க வந்து ஸ்தித பிரஜா. சம்யமின்னு சொல்றார். சம்யமி. ஸ்தித பிரஜான்னு முக்கியமா வார்த்தை இந்த ரெண்டாவது அத்தியாயத்துல ஸ்தித பிரஜான்னு சொல்றார். One who has got steadfast mind. Steadfast mind means steadfast mind concentrating on the Lord. அதான் ஸ்தித பிரஜா. அத்தஹ therefore
அந்த ஸ்தித பிரஜை தான் 7வது அத்தியாயத்துல இதுவா சொல்றாரு, ஞானின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவர் தான் என்னுடைய ஆத்மான்னு சொல்றாரு இல்லையா? இது ஸ்தித பிரஜையுடைய
ஞானி து ஆத்மா ஏவ மே மதம். Right. ஞானி து ஆத்மைவ மே மதம். In Sharanagati Gatyam you get the Bhagavad Gita verses. Jnani is one who realized the soul, one who realized the Supreme Soul. So, ataha, therefore, Swadhyaya Yogayoho. So, we were discussing about the timings, the 4th and 5th, Swadhyaya and Yoga. So, between them, Swadhyaya and Yoga, self-study and the meditation, Ekaikasmin Pradoshadikale. So, in each of it, that means in both of it, so Pradoshadikale, at the time of twilight, so the Swadhyaya will end in Pradoshakala, the Yoga will start in Pradoshakala. There is not very clear line of demarcation between the Swadhyaya and Yoga because of the Pradoshakala. Pradoshakala is used for Sandhya worship. And therefore, Pradoshakala is not to be used for scriptural chanting. So the time previous to the Sandhya, evening twilight, and is called Swadhyaya Kala, and the Yoga Kala is after the twilight. During the twilight, of course, how to bifurcate in these two, whether you have to study scriptures during the twilight timing, no, that is not recommended. For example, Trayodashi evening is called Mahapradosha Kala. There we chant the scriptures silently. We even chant Sahasranam, Vishnu Sahasranam silently. Gayatri mantra must always be chanted silently, not to be heard by others. And then, so again, of course, that is not a secret also. Tada Amsha Bedin. How do you divide this twilight time into the first half to Swadhyaya and the second half to Yoga? It is normally Kramat Prayogepi na Virodha. If you stop the self-study before just twilight and after immediate closing of twilight, you start yoga. So, na virodaha, there is no contradiction. So, prayoga bhedepi. So, while the difference in usage is recommended by some books, then kramat gradually, that means in order, according to the time. So, there is no contradiction. Now, what is more important is said this next slide. So,
சாமி
yatra,
ஒரு
ah,
சின்ன சந்தேகம்.
ah.
பிரதோஷத்தன்னைக்கு வேதம் சொல்லி தரது இல்லையா? அதுக்கு ஏதோ இது நிஷித்தியம் இது உண்டா?
ஆமா, பிரதோஷ
ஹோல் டே
காலத்துல பிரதோஷ
இல்ல
காலத்துல
ஆ,
பிரதோஷ காலத்துல நீங்க
ஆ,
படிச்ச
ஆ.
வேதத்தையும் சொல்லக்கூடாது,
சொல்லு
புதுசாவும்
புதுசா
படிக்கக்கூடாது.
சொல்லுது.
ஆ.
இல்ல அன்னைக்கு ஃபுல் டே அந்த மாதிரி கணக்கு. பிரதோஷத்தை நீ அன்னைக்கு பிரதோஷம் அதனால கிடையாதுங்கிறாள். அப்படியா?
இல்ல
நீ
இல்ல,
சொல்றது அந்த டைம் ஒன்லி.
ஃபுல் டே கிடையாது. ஃபுல் டே இல்ல,
ஓகே ஓகே
சில பேர் வந்து எக்ஸ்டெண்ட் பண்ணி 4 PM to 7 PM-ங்கறா.
ஓகே ஓகே.
Some people say 4 PM to 7 PM. I mean, to be very careful not to mingle with, not to interfere with the twilight time. The twilight time is rather inauspicious time for the gods, and it is an auspicious time for the demons.
அசுரா
And
அசுரா அசுரா.
ஆமா, the demons every day attack both, especially both special gods, sun and moon. Moon, of course, is a reflection of sun, and therefore sun, mostly sun. So sun is attacked by these demons every day. That's all. Every day he has to struggle. And therefore, our argyam, our offering of water through Gayatri Mantra saves them for, temporarily only again. Mande Harune. Mande Harune. Dvipe. It's an island called Mande Harune. Mande Harune. Harune, little dark in light. Manda is dull. Mandeha is the name of the mountain. Mande Harune. Dvipe, in an island, all the demons are pushed down, and they come up again the next morning. What happens is the water particles which we say by offering Gayatri Mantra, saying Gayatri Mantra, become what we call Vajrayuda. Vajri Bhutva, they say. Vajri Bhutva. Sivalines, the drops of water become the thunderbolt to the god demons. Mantra missiles. So Pradosha they call it. So yatra, now what is important more than this, what we call following the self-study and yoga, ekagrata tatra avisheshat. All the books have no contradiction about putting a stress upon Rudram Pradosha. That is different. So ekagrata is one-pointed concentration. Ekagrata meaning one-pointed concentration. No other thought is entertained. So tatra avisheshat. That is the similarity. Avisheshat means there is no difference. That means the similarity. Similarity between all the books, between books is concentration, one-pointed concentration, single concentration on the Lord. So who said it? Sharirika samarchita prakarena. Sharirakam meaning the, what we call the Brahma Sutras, the aphorisms of Veda Vyasa are called Shariraka. Rather, Sharirakam again meaning Shariram is body, so body is body of scriptures, Sharirakam is Lord, Sriman Narayana. So Sharirakam meaning, Shariraka Shastram meaning scriptures, nothing else, scriptural science, Shariraka. Samarthita, they concluded, Prakarena, in that method, to ekagrata anuguna kalantarepi. Though all other timings, for example, abhigamanam, upadanam, ijja, these three timings earlier, out of the 5, are also meant for ekagrata, are also for concentration only, but they are favorable, congenial to our meditation, our single concentration. But Swaguna Bhuta Swadhyayadi Nirodhena api yogaha anushtatam yuktaha. This Swadhyaya and yoga have got a lot of free time for concentration. Whereas while we take up these other three, Abhigamanam, Upadanam and Ijja, our physical action should always be associated with the concentration, but there is likely dissipation, distraction. So, concentrating on what we call our physical actions in the Tiruvaradhanam and collection of materials and also approaching the Lord in the morning. So, there may be some distractions. And those distractions are not there in yoga. So, yoga anushtatam yuktaha, the best time for concentration is yoga, fifth time. So, yoga anushtatam yuktaha. Why? Swaguna bhuta swadhyayadi nirodhenapi. So, we have our innate qualities, swaguna. The innate qualities become obstacles to the meditation. Swaguna bhuta. Swadhyaya, our self-study of scriptures, so they also prevent us from concentrating on the Lord. That's more important. So I say Brahmani Neset. Please remember those two words. So Brahmani Neset, since we have to concentrate on Lord's name, figure, qualities, adventures, and so on, study of scriptures may prevent Swadhyayadi Nirodhena, Nirodha prevention. So Swaguna Bhuta, also because of our own natural qualities. Yoga is better. The meditation on the fifth time is better, is easy. Yama Yama Ardha Vibhagi. Yama Ardha Vibhagi. Now we divide the night into two halves. That is evening 6 o'clock to morning 6 o'clock. So again, so 6 hours are there. So again, suppose we engage ourselves in Swadhyayadishu, self-study. Na atidura purva apara nyuna adhika nadika vibhagadayara tu matabhedataya nirvakyaha iti. Nirvakyaha iti, visarga is to be added so that so these are to be managed. Nirvakyaha means these are to be administered. How? Mata bhedataya. According to our tradition. Pancaratra tradition, if you all want to follow Daksha Smriti or Yagyavalkya Smriti, and so on, so on, and so on. So you had Mata Bhedataya Nirvakyaha. So according to our opinion, and opinion in the sense our tradition, they have to be administered. So what are to be administered? In the self-study, Swadhyayadishu, न अतिदूर पूर्व अपर न्यून अधिक नाडिका विभागादय. विभागादयः divisions of time. Nadika vibhagadayah, divisions of time. Nadika is time. 30, what is that? 2.5 Nadika is equal to 1 hour. 24 minutes. All right. So Nadika is 24 minutes. 48 minutes is Nadika Dvayam. So suppose you reduce the Nadika, Nyuna, or increase the Nadika, Adhika. That means you spend time more or less in study of scriptures, the self-study of scriptures. And if you go far, Dura, Ati Dura, very far, Na Atidura, not very far. Purva Apara. So, if you want to read the previous chapters, and then Apara, the later chapters, and you can also say the timing. If you allot the previous time to Swadhyaya and later time to yoga, or so if you divide the time according to your wishes, then they are also not contradicted. Evam smrityantaraणि api samvadaniyani. If you take up other smritis, smrityantaraणि, smriti, the name of the book, it's all only remembrance, smriti, that is memory. So antarani, meaning other books of smriti, samvadaniyani, they have to be argued in favor of Pancaratra. That's what I mean. It's not samvadaniyani, sampadaniyani. Then they must be edited in the sense adjusted. That is adjusted to the principles of Pancaratra. Ataha, therefore, Panchasu Kaleshu, in the 5 timings, Taihi Karmabihi, as per the respective actions, Bhagavat Sevanasya Nityatvena Vidhanat. We must ensure that it is only service to the Lord. That is all. Bhagavat Sevanasya Nityatvena. There should be no interruption to the service to the Lord. There should be no stoppage of service to the Lord. We must arrange so that Vidhanam, by the arrangement of continuity in service of the Lord, whatever be the action that we perform in the 5 times. The paragraph is given the bold letter title, Panchakala Dharma Avashyakata Nigamanam. So the duty enjoined in these 5 timings are necessary. That is the rule here. Nigamanam rule, Avashyakata, necessity, rule of the necessity of duty, dharma, and Panchakala in 5 times. So whatever we are expected to do as a priest in the temple, especially, we ensure that there is no interruption to the service to the Lord, whatever be the action during these 5 times. So the duty enjoined in these 5 timings must be strictly adhered to, and more importance is given to the concentration on the Lord. That's me. That's more important. Vyasa, Daksha, Adi, Ukta, Maryadaya. By the limitations, Maryadaya doesn't mean here respect. By the limitations set by Vyasa Smriti and Daksha Smriti. There are other Smritis also. Yajnavalkya. So Vyasa, Daksha, Yajnavalkya, Adi, can add other Smritis also. Maryadaya. Bhagavad Ajnanupalane api, while we carry out the orders of the Lord, Nirandhra Bhagavat Upasana Siddhehe. Again, the success lies in the meditation, Upasana, Bhagavad Upasana, the meditation on Lord, Nirandhra, without any gap. Randhra means hole, H-O-L-E. Water. There is a gap, so there is no gaping hole. So Nirandhra Bhagavat Upasana Siddhi. So by the success of Siddhi, success, that means when we achieve that meditation, Upasana, the thinking of the Lord, without any disruption, continuously, Adhikrita Shastra Ukta, next page. Prashasta Tama Purna Shastra Artha Parigraha Auchityasya Prageva Darshitatva. Vedanteshika says already it has been shown. Prageva earlier itself, darshitatvat, shown. What was shown earlier? The entire science meaning. So Purna Shastra, Purna entire. Shastra, the science, namely scriptures, namely Pancaratra scriptures, Pancaratra Smriti. Artha meaning parigraha uchityasya, the propriety of understanding the meaning of the sciences belonging to Pancaratra tradition in entirety, which has been praised earlier, the most adorable, prashasta tama. Tama is superlative degree. Prashasta tama is most adorable. Has already been said. How do you identify it? We just see the previous page's word, last word. Adhikrita Shastrokta. More important is what you learned already. Adhikrita. Adhikrita meaning learnt. The priest must be already highly educated. So he must be so much learned that he knows the meaning of entire tradition, which are adorable. And then, so how do you understand? So Bhashyakara tat antevasi prabritipischa. Either you can understand from Ramanujacharya's works or his disciples' works. So how were the disciples of Ramanujacharya? Both Ramanujacharya, the preceptor, guru, the teacher, and the disciples, Antevasi. Antevasi meaning generally those who live nearby the preceptor. But that means disciple. The meaning is disciple. Antevasi meaning not simply people who are living nearby. It cannot mean anta means the end. Some people are away from the preceptor, no. So Antevasi meaning disciple. In scripture you get it, the word. Antevasanam anushasti. So Antevasi Prabhati, with the disciples, with the help of disciples,
Hey,
and
Muchya.
the
Muchya.
Huh? Vedam Anuchacharya Antevasanam anushasti. So Bhagavad, Antevasi Prabhati. So what are they? That means what is their nature? Prapatyeka nishtaihi. They always have total surrender as their concept. They are always busy with the total surrender. That means they fall at the feet of the Lord. So prapatyeka nishtaihi. Bhagavad bhajanasya uktatvat tadanusarena, in tune with that, Bhagavad bhajanasya uktatvat, since we have to recite the names of the God, bhajanam, tad yogyaihi cha, we must also become eligible to recite the names of God. In the sense, eligibility remains in our concentration and understanding the meaning of the names. When yavat tat anushtanasya yathashakti parigrahat. Now, according to our capacity, we must grasp the meaning and follow the actions of the great people.
Give.
I think you have to, Rajagopal Swami, unmute if.
Sorry.
No problem. So, yathashakti parigrahat. No problem. So, yathashakti parigrahat. According to one's own capacity, you grasp the meaning. And then, anipurna parityagasya anadaraniyatvate. So, we must not care about people who do not understand this. So, anipurna parityagasya. So, when when people are not interested in such meditation, understanding the meanings of Pancaratra tradition and so on, you just give up their company, then anadarniyatvat, we must not give respect to them. Doesn't mean we have to disrespect them. So we need not care about them. Yat shilaha swami tat shila prakritihi iti nyayena. There's a logic called as per the master, as per the qualities of the master. Naturally, the character will come to the disciples. So prakritihi means nature. That means the atmosphere around the preceptor will be also good. The environment will be good if the master is good. So Swami Yachila, so Tachila Prakriti. Because Ramanujacharya was Swami with Shilavan, he was Shilavan. He was a good character. So the whole atmosphere around him was of good character. Mostly. What are the good characters? Nahankarat. The egoism must be given up, should be shed off. Nahankarat. Na samrambhat. No restlessness, no tension. Samrambha is tension. Don't be in tension. Na samrambhat. Na amarshat. Don't get angry. So there should be always forgiveness. Then artha karana. Because of the dispute in meaning. When we have some difference of opinion about the meaning, so not only meaning, also the purpose of the action. Artha karana. When you discuss the purpose of the action that we perform, then many have got different opinions. So different opinions on the purpose of the actions, or here the very meaning of these words. Na hetuvada ulla hetuvadat. So we should not adduce reasons. ADDUEC. We should not adduce reasons, rather improper reasons. We should not give external causes. What you call, you can say, even say, excuses, lame excuses. We cannot give wrong reasons or causes. And hetu vadat, just for the sake of argument, we should not argue. It is called ativada or vitandavada, violent argument for the sake of opposing the argument. Then lobhat, out of greed, out of our desire, worldly desire. Va dharmam jahyam kathancha. The propriety, the piety, the righteousness, the duty consciousness should never be kathanchana, whatever be the difficulty, jahyam should not be given up. Na jahyam, add this na jahyam, the righteous dharmam na jahyam. So these are the reasons why we must not give up dharma. So egoism must be shed off, restlessness, tension, as we say, what our confused thoughts, then anger because of jealousy, then artha karanat. Again, artha karanat. I want to grab the booty. I want to cash in the maximum. So artha karanat, for sake of wealth also. And na hetu vadat, by putting vain arguments. Then lobhatuva, or by greed, over desire, unlimited desires. So, dharmam jahyam, na, don't give up the righteousness. Iti vadata bhagavata. So who said it? Vasudeva Nandane. Lord Krishna said it. It is in Bhagavad Gita. It should be in Bhagavad Gita. So vadata bhagavata, by Lord Vasudeva Nandanena, the son of Vasudeva, who said it vadata, Swamina, by that master, tad dasaihi, by his disciples, samashilaihi, the same character, bhavitavyat, we must also be there. We must also be the same attitude of the words expressed by the Lord. Swami Samprinana Swarupa Anurupa Vrittescha. So our action should always please the Lord. So our uh, performance should be in tune with our own selves. In the sense, the individual soul has been created by the Supreme Soul in order to follow Him. Therefore, so we must always try to please Him. So Swami Samprinana. We have to please Him heavily. We have to give Him more happiness. And that should be the original nature of the individual soul, Swarupam. So Anurupa Vrittehe, so in those favorable actions, Sarva Abhimatatvat, we must like it and do it. We must have a liking for performing some actions which please the Lord very much. Sarva Abhimatatvat. Everybody will agree. It is agreeable to everyone. And that is agreeable to all people who are with the same character as advised by the Lord. Samashilaihi Swamibihi. Then Tat Prinanasya cha. Now, while pleasing the Lord, Tat here, that Lord. Prinanasya, in the process of pleasing Him. So, Nityanam Muktanam Ivacha Mumukshubihi. So, just like Nityanam Muktanam, just like the permanent souls, namely Garuda, Vishaksena, Adishesha, Ananta, and Muktanam, the released souls in Sri Vaikuntham. The people here like us who are aspirants of the moksha, emancipation, mumukshubihi. Now we must understand their attitude and follow them. Pratyakshena avagantum ashakyatvat. Because we are not able to directly witness the actions performed by the released souls and the permanent souls in Vaikuntham. Because we are not able to see ashakyatvat, avagantum, to understand. Pratyakshena, in person, in flesh and blood, that is with our very eyes, we are not able to understand. Then, so what is our source to understand? Shrutihi smritihi mama eva agya. He himself, Lord himself said, follow scriptures. Shrutihi. So my order is scriptures. Mama agnya. What are the other things? Smritihi. Mama eva agnya. Don't suspect that scriptures are created by someone else. Smritis are written by someone else other than me. They are all my orders, my executive document. So, iti tadukti anusarena, by following his statement, Shastra Deva, from the scripture itself. Shastram here mean again Shrutihi Smriti. So, from Shruti and Smriti, from scriptures and Smriti, Tat Prenana Nischayat, because we are sure of making him happy. Then Yena Asya Pitaro Yataha. So our ancestors got back to Vaikuntham because they followed this path. So Yena, by this path, Shruti Patha, we say, the path of the scripture, Asya Pitaraha Yataha. This man's, meaning our ancestors, Yataha, were gone. How? Pancha Pancaratra uditan vapi ye swavamshaihi anushthitaha. So they followed the principles said in that cropped up in Pancaratra tradition, and therefore ye swavamshaihi anushthitaha. Therefore their success is also used. Swavamshaihi anushthitaha. They were followed by their own traditional youngsters. Swavamshaihi. Ityadi pratibadita prakarena. Thus, by this method of explanation, etc., tat samhita bheda vidureshu, when there are differences or contradictions, what you call apparent contradictions between samhitas, tat samhita bheda vidureshu, when different samhitas speak of different traditions, paramatma samprinana prasthana bhedeshu. So, even in the process of making him happy, making Paramatma, the Supreme Soul, Samprinana, making him very happy, Prasthana Bedeshu, in the differences, in the process of making him very happy, Kanchin Maryadam Avalambya, we have to take a pragmatic view. We have to find out the limitations of these books in different traditions. Then Swatantra Prapattinishthaihi api. So even though we are independently making a total surrender and we are busy with that, so Swadhikara Upadeshadi Anurupa. So such people following Ramanuja's tenets in toto should be followed because their rights, Swadhikara, Upadesha, because of their rights, they advised us. Then Adi, etc., Anurupam, favorably, that we must behave. That's all. Where is it? Kusidameke viharanti sarve. Ya ashirvadantaha tadatyatra kinchit. Paryanta lokaha tu ihate bhavanti. Anashishattu vijayaya anantaya. So generally we say sarve viharanti. Many people play. How do they play? So kusidam, in the wrong path. They go on the wrong path. Kusidam. Eke, kusidam eke. Some people play on the wrong path. Viharanti, they play. That's what we say. They roam, wander. Then the ancestors are very broad-minded. So Ashirvadantaha, they bless the youngsters. Dadati atra kinchit. They have given something here. So Dadati, they have given. Atra here kinchit something. Paryanta lokaha tu ihate bhavanti. So they are, since they are surveying the entire world, Paryanta lokaha, looking at all people who are doing actions. Even though these people, the learned people, educated people, do not bless, anashishastu. The compassion of the Lord takes them to victory. Vijayaya Anantaya. The endless victory. All people reach the destination with a lot of victory. And that is because Lord is so kind. So that's a general meaning of this one. So whether ancestors bless us or not, whether people behave well or not. The Lord is so sympathetic. That is the previous. Let me see the previous line, last line before the verse. According to the opinion of people who have been busy in total surrender to the Lord, they say that Lord is very compassionate. Lord is very pitiful. So, but our duty is to please Him. That's me.
ராமானுஜதயாபாத்திரம் ஞான வைராக்கிய பூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம். கவிதாதிகசிம்மாய கல்யாண குணசாலினே ஸ்ரீமதே வெங்கடேசாய வேதாந்த குரவே நமः. வாதித்விபதிரோ வங்க பஞ்சானன பராக்கிரமா வாதித்விபதிரோ வங்க பஞ்சானன பராக்கிரமாம் ஸ்ரீமான் வெங்கடநாதாய இரம் விஜேதா புவி சீரொன்று தோப்பல் திருவேங்கட உடையான் பாரொன்று சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஓரொன்று தானே மையார் வாழ்வார்க்கு
ராமானுஜதயா பாத்திரம் ஞானவைராக்யபூஷணம் ஸ்ரீமத்வேங்கடநாதார்யம் வந்தே வேதாந்ததேசிகம்.
कवितार्किकसिंहाय कल्याणगुणशालिने श्रीमते वेङ्कटेशाय वेदान्तगुरवे नमः. சீரொன்று தூப்புல் திருவேங்கடமுடையான் பாரொன்றச் சொன்ன பழமொழியுள் ஊரொன்று தானே அமையாதோ தாரணியில் வாழ்வார்க்கு வானேரப் போமளவும் வாழ்வு.
ஓம் நமோ நாராயணாய. ஓம் நமோ